Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm the host of the You Can Heal Global Summit. And today I have with us Debbie Hardy. Debbie, thank you for coming today and joining us. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited to share. And I'm also excited to learn what the other presenters have to present about too. So this is going to be really exciting and fun. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'd like to share a little bit about Debbie. Debbie is a certified crystal healer, advanced crystal master, Reiki master, and angel therapist practitioner. She is very passionate about meditation and hosts live and online meditation sessions monthly. She also teaches a variety of crystal workshops so her clients can learn to use crystal energy on their own in their own home. She found a deep connection to crystals and has used their energy in every aspect of her life and her own personal healing, and found it just a natural fit to share her knowledge with others. It gives her such a great joy to take part in the client's healing journey in a natural, holistic way. That is just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It really does. It's so satisfying when somebody just starts to feel crystal energy and what it can do for them. It's just a wonderful experience, both ways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for the great introduction. I appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you fell into crystal healing? Was that part of your own personal healing journey?
It was, yes. About 14 or 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with lupus, Raynaud syndrome, Sjogren's, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, all these things at once. It just hit me. I was in a lot of pain and very swollen. I could hardly walk. And I was seeing about 5 or 6 doctors, and they all piled the pills onto me. And they all said, "You're going to be taking these the rest of your life." And that kind of put me into more of a depression because I thought, you know, this just doesn't resonate with me. So I kind of fell into that cycle for a while. And eventually something clicked. And I thought, I don't want to be on these pills forever. I don't want to live this way. They weren't really helping me anyway. They were just kind of masking the problem. They weren't really helping, solve the problem. So I started looking into holistic alternative therapies. I've tried many over the years, and they all helped in their own way. So it was a long process to find what actually worked for me, but it started getting me out of those pills and all of those things that I felt were not helping me. So I ran across crystals, and in the most unusual way, and it kept getting my attention, and I thought, okay, I've got to try this. So I started researching them, and I fell in love with them right away. I started buying ones that I thought, okay, that will help this symptom, or that will help, that I bought certain ones for the depression. I bought certain ones for pain. I bought certain ones just for lupus alone. And I would start to meditate with them and just have them in my space. And the more I did that, the more I was able to heal myself. Now today, this many years later, I have none of those symptoms at all. The lupus is gone, the Sjogren's, the high blood pressure, the depression, it's all, I feel, healed. I have not been, actually tested to make sure, but I feel like a whole new person. And I just feel like the crystals had amped up the energy to a place where I needed to realign myself and start to use them in that way. So it's been a huge journey for me, but it's been such a positive journey. And actually, I didn't even consider becoming an actual crystal healer for clients. I was more interested in my own self-healing. And then I got to a point where I saw the benefits so much so that I thought, I can help others do this. It's easy, it's painless, it's fast, it's natural. And that's how I started seeing clients. Got the certification and started seeing clients because of that.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's always the best way to go. Heal ourselves first, and then we
Yes,
can heal others.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
So when you were healing yourself, were you doing Reiki also? Were you incorporating the crystals with the Reiki?
when I was healing myself, it was mostly meditation with crystals, and I'll touch a good amount of time on that today. I actually got my Reiki certification after the crystals because I'd heard they complement each other quite well, and they do.
Okay.
So my very first love is crystals, and the Reiki energy is an added benefit.
Sure.
And I just feel they work really well together, and they complement each other. But I started off with meditation and crystals on my own, and that's how I healed myself. Was meditation and crystals, bringing the crystals into my aura, my energy field.
Okay. So which crystals did you use for the lupus, for the depression? Do you remember offhand?
The crystals that I actually started off with in the very beginning were ones that I didn't focus on the lupus one right away. And I was just trying to actually, when you start off with crystals, it's best just to, whatever you're drawn to is probably what you need most first off. Okay. So I went with that. And these particular ones I'm going to show you right here are the ones that I have used most of the time throughout my many years of doing this. And by doing that with these crystals, I was able to heal my emotional and mental issues. And when you get that heaviness off of yourself, the negative energy off of yourself, it starts to heal the physical body. So it complements each other. Bringing a deep peace to yourself through meditation and crystal energy can start to relieve the pains and the symptoms that you suffer from physically. Okay. So here's some crystals that I started off with. This is an angel light. It's a blue, light blue, and it's not only good for peace and calm, but it's good for many other things too. But I use these three together, and the combination of them just brought me such a joy and peaceful energy, that it was just an amazing feeling right off the bat. And here is a selenite.
Selenite, yep. So I heard selenite amplifies anything that's around it. Is that true?
It can. Some believe that it does not need to be cleansed or charged. I still do anyway, just because I think it's a good practice to cleanse and charge your crystals occasionally, all of them. So I have my own belief on that it's just like any other crystal. It just needs its own charging and cleansing too. Okay. So how do you cleanse? Oh, go ahead. Oh, that's quite all right. And clear quartz too is a very, very positive, powerful healing in its own right. If this is the only one that you start with, you're going to have great results no matter what kind of issue you have: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. This can heal any or all of those. Okay. This one will definitely amplify any other crystal that you put with it. Okay. This one will amplify the energies of anything else that you put with it. I actually did a video not too long ago that with dowsing rods to show the energy field of this particular one, and it comes out probably about 5 or 6 inches. It's just an amazing energy field. Wow. It's really, really something. Huh. And here's one more too that I wanted to show you is opalite.
Opalite?
Yes, opalite. It's not a true opal. This is man-made, but this is just as effective of these natural ones. I use this in the combination with these others, and it has such a peaceful, spiritual feeling to it. It's just an amazing crystal.
Okay. So I was going to ask you, how do you clean your crystals? Do you put them out in the full moon, or is it a salt bath?
I do put them out under the full moon. They really like it. It's amazing. You can feel the energy from a crystal before the full moon and then you put it out the night of the full moon. It can be a 3-day window, the night before, the night of, and the night after,
Okay.
during the full moon period. And then as you bring it in the morning, you will feel the energy has just amplified from that experience for that crystal. It really is amazing. The more you work with crystals, the more you feel their energy.
Okay.
And you get more used to just feeling their energy. And it's just, I keep saying amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah. Also, it's a good idea to rinse them in water if they're safe to do so. Like selenite is not, it will crumble in water. So this you can put, you can sage to cleanse it.
Okay.
Sage smoke. Or if you really want to use like a damp cloth, you could, but don't put it under running water. Most everything else you can just put under running water just to rinse the other people's energy. If somebody else has touched them or worked with them, just a quick rinse in the sink will be fine.
Okay. So if you're using it, for example, to do distance healing.
Yes.
And you're focusing on somebody else, would you need to clean the crystal? It's in your possession, but you're working on somebody else.
Absolutely, and I do. I treat them just as if they were in my space.
Okay.
So distance healing, I combine crystal energy and Reiki energy, and it's a really powerful combination between the two. And I do cleanse them after each use if the client is in front of me face to face or if it's a distance across the world.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you meditate? For the people that will be watching this that aren't too familiar with meditation,
Yes.
could you tell them a real simple meditation to do with a crystal, for example, for depression? We'll pick.
Yes, absolutely. To begin meditation, I know it's scary for so many, and so many people feel like they don't have the time or they feel like they can't clear their mind. Using crystals during meditation can help that, the mind part. You have to devote the time, however, but it's worth it. It really is.
Okay.
What I suggest is to find a crystal that, like for depression, amethyst is really good. Amethyst is really good. Oh, yay. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Let's compare amethysts. That's beautiful. Amethyst is very, very peaceful and calming. And they are very good to help with depression. So I would suggest starting off with an amethyst. I don't have a tumbled one here, but it would be like, oh, yeah, I do actually. You would want to hold it in your receptive hand, which is your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
If you're right-handed, you're going to want to hold it in your left hand while you meditate. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of different theories on meditation, but I feel there's no rules. It's up to the individual to feel how it feels to you. Mm-hmm. If you want to sit. If you want to lie down, that's fine. If you want to do lotus, whatever is comfortable for you, that's the best way to meditate.
Okay.
So hold your crystal in your hand, your receptive hand, and then just begin, once you're comfortable, just begin by taking a few deep breaths, like 3 deep breaths in and out. And then after that, just let your breathing go naturally, and just think about starting at your toes and working all the way up to the top of your head. Just relax all of your body in that sequence, and just let your breathing go nice and easy. Now, once you get used to holding the crystal during meditation, you're going to start to feel its energy. And that is what you can focus on to clear your mind, so you're not thinking. Focus on your breathing and the energy from the crystal. And when you begin to, you'll start to feel the energy in your hand, and it feels like a light vibration. And eventually you'll start to feel it go down your arm, and after practice, you'll start to feel it around your whole body. Okay. You'll start to feel this energy around your whole body, and it really feels good, and that helps you not think the day-to-day thoughts that you want to clear out.
Okay.
So you actually have a double benefit there. You actually are accomplishing meditation for what it's worth, but you're also bringing in crystal energy into your aura that brings in the healing energy as well. So it's a double benefit.
Oh, okay.
And the more you meditate, the more you will feel the energy. And try and do it for 5 minutes. If you're just starting, try and just do it for 5 minutes, then increase to 10 to 20 and go from there. And also I have another suggestion too, is when you're just starting off with meditation and a crystal, like an amethyst like this for depression, after you finish meditating for the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is, journal your experience. Journal how you felt physically. Journal if you were able to clear your mind. Anything that you can think of how you felt. And do this for about 5 days. And then after 5 days, compare the beginning day and the end and see if you notice any changes just in the meditation part. And also through those 5 days too, start to notice how you feel. Do you feel more joyous? Do you feel more happy? Do you feel you're not worrying quite as much? Kind of notice that too. Okay. So it's a good idea to start with journaling if, you know, that way you have something to compare it to, a before and after.
Yes.
Because it can be kind of difficult if you're just not knowing what to expect from it. Yeah. And if you're looking for something for a physical problem like pain in a specific area, I would suggest malachite for pain or hematite. That's this here. I don't have a malachite handy. Hematite is very effective for pain. So actually during meditation, you can place this on the area of the pain. And then you can gauge that too throughout the days. I have clients actually that tape hematite to their body and wear it throughout the day. And it's highly effective for reducing pain and swelling. So, yeah. So if you're looking for a physical help too, meditate with it. Keep a journal too, so you can gauge the pain factor on day 1 to day 5 and see how it's improved. Okay.
If somebody doesn't believe in crystals and that they can heal, do you think the crystals will have an effect?
I believe they still have an effect because crystals have an energy regardless. Okay. When you bring them into your aura, your space, they're going to bring your vibration up higher to realign with theirs. Our vibrations get out of alignment very easily from day-to-day stress, worry, just day-to-day activities. Crystals hold their vibrations at a steady rate. They do need to be cleansed and charged occasionally, but they hold their energy stable. By bringing that into our aura, ours will start to come up and realign with theirs. Now, if somebody doesn't necessarily believe that these can help, their vibration will still come up. They'll still start to see changes. They might not understand why, but there'll be positive changes.
That's great news.
Yeah. Yes, I've used crystals. I've had some people that were not quite sure. They were a little hesitant about it. But after they felt the energy from the crystals, they actually had a different opinion about it. And the more that they use it, the more that they become a believer in it. It's during sessions, I use crystals either on the person or around their body or both, depending on their needs, and different crystals for different issues that they're trying to heal. And I had one client in particular, she had paralysis in one foot. And I did a session on her, combined Reiki and crystals. And she was mainly seeing me for pain. And during the session, her foot actually lifted off the table and she felt energy go through it. So it was a huge, just a huge burst of energy that she felt, that she didn't feel anything in that place in her body for a while. So she was so thrilled that she could feel something there. Now, chronic illnesses can take some time and practice. And you don't necessarily need somebody like a healer to do it. You can work on it like yourself, like I did. I had another person that has Crohn's disease. And I saw her a few times, and then I started coaching her on what crystals to use during meditation, and she's gone on her own now to do her own healing practices. And it's just wonderful when somebody can get to that point and they're just self-healing.
Yes.
And it feels so good too. When you bring crystal energy to your space, it can be, you can wear it, you can hold it, you can meditate with it, you can just have them in your space. You start to feel the energy, and it changes in a positive direction, and it just feels really, really good. The energy feels really good to be around. I had another client that suffered from severe back spine issues, pain, a lot of pain.
Wow.
After one session, she was on a lot of medication, a lot of pain medication. And after one session, she was able to be off that medication for about a month before she came back for another session. So it's incredible what the crystals can do for you. And then I coached her to be on her own regimen too, crystal healing, her own self-care too.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful.
It feels so good to be able to help somebody like that.
Yes.
And it's suffering, and they call you and say, I am pain-free. It feels so good. So it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Wow, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Simple thing like crystals versus Tylenol or
Yes.
something worse. I mean, Tylenol's bad enough. I won't take that stuff,
Right.
And
right.
it's legal.
Oh my gosh. I used to be addicted back then when I was having all those problems. I used to be addicted to Tylenol PM because I couldn't sleep.
Oh.
I was so anxious and I couldn't sleep. Bringing amethyst to your aura. And if you put an amethyst by your bed, like that big one that you have, that will help you with sleep issues or sleep disorders. Very peaceful and calming. So that's good for sleep problems. Yeah. And I've got to say too, the bigger the crystal, the more energy. So even though these little tumbles do help, the bigger ones have more energy to them. Okay. So if you want a lot of energy, get bigger crystals.
Okay.
Or you can use a lot of little ones around you too.
Okay.
I've got a couple others here to show you. This is a smoky quartz.
Oh, I like that one.
This you can just place in your space to diffuse negative energy. If you're suffering from a lot of negative energy in your space, like worry, stress, fear, put this in that area.
Bring it on.
And it will diffuse it. And you just cleanse it every so often in the full moon and rinse it underwater, and it does its job. Here's another selenite. It's a tower. Yep. I like to use the selenite, this one here, in my meditation. I just lay it on my chest, and I hold the other ones in my hand. But this is a tower. This is nice if you just want to set it in your space also. This brings a very calming energy to a space. Okay. So it all depends too on what you want out of the crystals. And I've used them for all those things: spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. I've used it for all those things and combinations of those things.
Okay. So I really like that, was it smoky topaz?
Oh, smoky quartz. Yes.
Smoky quartz.
Smoky quartz.
And you said that was to get rid of negative energy. So that must mean that I need to get rid of some negative energy.
I think I have another one here. Well, yes, what you're drawn to, you probably, you need usually. I can't see the other one close by, but I do have some actual bigger ones that are very, very beautiful. Here's another crystal. There's a couple others that I want to show you too. This is a fluorite. This is great to bring to your space if you want clarity of mind.
Okay.
If you're working on something and you're confused, actually this would be a good one to hold during meditation if you're really focusing on something or want to get something accomplished. Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Just seeing and being in their presence brings a whole different energy to you too, because they are so beautiful to work with. Mm-hmm. This is a carnelian. You've got a little face right there. Look at that.
I see that.
Carnelian is excellent for bringing self-confidence, healing self-doubt. If you need energy, if you're fatigued, hold this for 5 minutes and you'll just have a burst of energy, like the 3 o'clock slumps. You know, people want to go get coffee and Snickers bar. Hold a carnelian instead.
Ah.
I've done that several times. I'll just grab mine and hold it for about 5 minutes. And this, you don't have to go into a deep meditation. You can do that with actually several different crystals. Just hold it for 5 minutes, and then it'll help you get to that point of what you want to accomplish. So this one is really good for that. If you want to be, you know, if you're really stressed and you just need some peace and calm, rose quartz and amethyst, you can just hold those little tumble stones for 5 minutes and just breathe in and out. Focus on your breathing. Focus on the feel of the crystals. You don't have to go into the deep meditation. And then in about 5 minutes, you do start to feel like, okay, I can continue with my day. Things are not that bad. Let's move on.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. This here too, black tourmaline. This is one of my favorite to work with for getting rid of negative energy in a space or a person. And one of the little freebies that I'm offering actually is how to create a crystal grid using black tourmaline to protect your home from negative energies. So that's one of the little links that we will be sharing. Okay. So that's a really neat video. So black tourmaline is very, very effective for dissipating negative energies. Matter of fact, this stone right here, it's natural. This here is very safe to put near electronics because electronics emit a lot of negative energy into our atmosphere.
Yep.
And they make us tired. They make us stressed. They make us, you know, they bring our vibration down. Putting a black tourmaline next to your computer or next to your cell phone will diffuse that energy, and it's safe for the electronics. It will not harm them.
Okay.
I actually even put one on the back of my cell phone right here.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I've done a actual demonstration with that too, with the dowsing rods, and it shows before you put the black tourmaline on the cell phone, how much energy is out there, and then by adding that little chip to the cell phone, it shows that the dowsing rods hardly even move after that. So it's really effective. Just a little bit goes a long way.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So that blocks the EMFs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I heard the same about black shungite maybe, or nuumite.
Oh, shungite. Yes, that
Shungite?
will too. Yes,
Okay.
that will too. You don't want to get anything that's magnetic because that might cause some hiccups in your electronics. Hematite is also very good. Now there's some hematite that is usually in bracelets. I don't have that with me either. But the tumbled hematites, most of them are non-magnetic, and those are safe too.
Okay.
So as long as it's non-magnetic, you're okay with the electronics. I don't want somebody's computer to crash because I told them something. It's so,
put a crystal on it.
Yeah. Now, there is something that you want to be aware of too. Don't put quartz next to your electronics because that will amplify the EMFs. Yes, because they do use quartz in electronics, and they're good, you know, record keepers, and all the energy that they emit. This amplifies what it goes next to. So don't put these next to your computers. Okay. You can put these, you know, elsewhere in your space. You can have it in the same room, of course, but just not up close.
Okay. Okay. The black shungite, I've been wondering about its effectiveness as a water filter or a water clarifier. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I have not. I will have to look into that. I'll check it out and see.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was black shungite.
Oh, I'll check into that and see if I can find something on that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, the EMFs are so powerful, and, you know, these children, they're so sensitive to the EMFs. They get headaches and they're irritable, and you can't find out what is the reason, and a lot of times it could be the EMFs. Yes,
we've really changed our society, bringing cell phones into our aura, you know. Just this alone can be about this far away from us, and if we have it to us all day, that's so unhealthy, you know. Just by a little chip of black tourmaline, that will help.
Okay.
But you're right, it brings in so many problems. I don't think that we've even touched the surface of all the problems that these will be causing for us in the long run yet. So if we can diffuse that, quickly and soon, that's all the better.
Okay, where can somebody get a little chip of the black tourmaline?
I actually sell those little chips. I sell them in bags, and I sell most everything that you've seen here.
Okay.
But I can leave you my Etsy shop, and I sell on various platforms. And if I don't have it, I can lead you into the right direction to where to find it. There's a lot of good. If you're really looking for something in this quality, you really want to check out your seller. If you're just looking for something that's common, then it's probably okay just to buy from most anybody online. But when you do, make sure you read to see how big the crystal is, because I've gotten into that trap where I've just looked at the picture and it's not true to what you think you're going to get. Yeah. So pay attention to the size. Read the description really carefully.
Okay.
Or, because sometimes I thought I was going to get something really big and I ended up with something really small.
Huh.
So be careful with that.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes.
Blue Kyanite. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes, I have worked with that on clients. Actually, I've worked with that on clients mostly to bring them up for their higher chakras. Can I touch on chakras just for a moment?
That would be wonderful.
When I work with clients to balance their chakras, there's 7 main ones that we have. There's actually several around our whole body, but there's 7 main ones that we have. And it's the root, the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye or brow, and crown are the 7 main ones. And when those are out of balance, they can cause problems physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually for ourselves. And bringing crystals, the specific crystals for those chakras to rebalance them can help those symptoms. So say, for instance, like if somebody is suffering for heart problems, bringing in rose quartz can help the physical heart problems in this area, but it also can help emotional heart problems and self-love, loving others, giving and receiving love. So when we balance that, it helps heal those areas. Now, once you're all imbalanced, that's when you start to feel an overall general well-being. And it can take some, depending on the problems that you suffer from, it can take some time to, if there's one chakra that's really, really off balance, it can take some time to heal that. But you will start to notice changes rather quickly. I had a client that suffered from throat chakra problems, and that's your communication chakra. Actually, I was too. I was very shy, very withdrawn. I never spoke my truth. I never talked in front of anybody. And by healing my throat chakra, I've been able to talk in groups of workshops, teach people, go online, do videos, things that I would have never have been able to do. So this other client, that's what she was suffering from. She was not able to talk her truth to her partner. And she was suffering from that. She was holding in too much. And when you hold in too much, that's when you start to feel those physical problems that cause you issues. And after one session, she went home that night and she was able to speak everything that she's been holding in for years. So once you start to balance these things, like some things can take time and other things can take, right away. It's different with the condition and the person. Blue Kyanite, actually there's 3 higher chakras that I've worked with that to open those up who want a very spiritual experience, who's ready for that spiritual experience. I don't offer that. It's the Kazel, the Soul Star, and the Stellar Gateway chakras. They're up here. And I don't offer that unless the regular chakras are in balance, because it's something that you really need to feel in balance all throughout your life and your being before you can go to that level. I've used that blue kyanite with that process. Mostly that's what I use it for. So have you used it?
I did.
Yes.
I put it right here on my neck.
Perfect. That's perfect for
I
your throat
had
chakra.
I had
Yes.
like a little splinter that I had from a bigger piece, and
Mm-hmm.
intuitively I was guided to put it here, and I taped it on, and then I realized, there's aluminum in it, and
Ah.
I didn't want the aluminum on my skin, especially over my thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
I wrapped it up in a piece of tape, and then I retaped it on me, and I walked around that day with it on. I went to the store, went for some yogurt. I mean, people were looking at me. I didn't care.
You get that way when you start to feel good. It's like, I'm doing what I have to do. But that
It's
was smart.
okay.
Actually, that was smart to wrap it like that. And actually, that was great that you followed your intuition, because that usually the colors of the stones, like this one is a throat chakra stone. It's a light blue.
Mhm.
That was perfect for that area. So that's
Yay!
great. Yeah, that's great. Good for you.
Thank you. And the rose quartz, I was attracted to that. Maybe
Oh,
two and a
rose
half
quartz.
years ago.
Yes.
And I got a big chunk. I don't like this big or so. I don't have it handy because we've moved recently and everything's in boxes. But I would sleep with it right on top of my chest, on my heart
Yes.
chakra.
That's perfect.
And
Yes.
I don't know where it came from. I was guided to do it. But every night for I don't know how many months, I would go to sleep with it on my chest. And
Yes.
some mornings I would wake up in that same position and the rose quartz was still there.
Oh, it feels so good too. It's such a very, very loving energy to it.
It is.
Oh, it really
Yes.
is. That is one that is really good. Actually, you can put tumbled stones under your pillow. There's
Ah.
some crystals that you can do that with. You can sleep with under your pillow to help you sleep, but actually get a calm, deep sleep and a very peaceful sleep.
Mm.
And rose quartz would be good. So, angelite would be good, and amethyst would be good. Now, the crystals that have a higher energy, you want to stay away from at night, like quartz. Citrine would not be good for night
Okay.
because it's very happy and energetic.
Mm.
Yes, the carnelian, of course, you don't want carnelian at night because that'll keep you wide awake.
Okay.
So the calmer stones are very nice just to put in your pillowcase and just leave them there. And there's some that I just leave all the time. I cleanse them occasionally, but just put them back under in the pillow.
Mm.
And the very calming stones are very nice for that. So that's great that you were able to sleep with your rose quartz like that. And it just has such a loving feel. It's just, you feel good. When you feel good, you are healing.
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever makes you feel good, physically, emotionally, mentally, you're healing yourself. So yes, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I got another one that was light blue. I'm trying to think what it's called.
There's blue lace agate.
It's Angel Celestine, maybe?
Oh, celestite, yes.
Celestite, okay.
That's very nice too. Very nice. I don't have one of these handy. That's really good for your throat chakra. Any of the light blues are good for your throat chakra.
Okay.
That's a very, very peaceful, loving energy too. It's very spiritual. That will also help with bring you to higher realms, like the angelic realms, and just a very good feeling overall. That would be very nice to meditate with. That would be a good one to meditate with.
Oh, good. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So you shared with us the one stone that was man-made.
Yes, opalite.
Opalite, yes. And you said it's just as powerful as the naturally made. Does that across the board? Any man-made crystal is just as powerful as a naturally made crystal, or no?
The ones that I know of are very effective, just as natural stones. The ones that I know of are goldstone, blue goldstone, green goldstone, opalite, and aqua obsidian. I wish I could show you some of those. I don't have them handy. But those are all very effective healing tools too. Actually, the goldstone is the very sparkly red one. And it's been around for hundreds of years. So it's something that we're used to creating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know how they do the process of it, but what they do to put in as a combination to create it, it does still work.
Okay.
I know some clients prefer to stay away from the man-made, but I have actually used the opalite myself for many years, and I just love the feel of it. It just feels so very calming and peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It actually has the same feel as an amethyst to me. Very, very, very nice. So it's a preference too. You know, if you're not sure about it, you just would rather stay away from it, then stay away from it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to try it, try it.
Okay. Okay. And also, if somebody orders a geode like this,
Yes.
and there's concrete on the back.
Yes, that is quite common. So geodes, I have a lot of those actually, even for purchase too. Those are wonderful. All those little points of your purple are giving off positive, pure, peaceful energy. It's an amazing feel. That's one that you could put by your bedside and just have just peaceful sleep at any time. Anywhere you want to have peace brought into your space, that's a perfect thing for that. They put cement on the back because they can be very brittle when they have a big chunk like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to stabilize them. You're still getting the energy projecting out from the tips and the points of all of it. Here's one that's natural. It's got just a little layer of base, and the rest is crystal. So the bigger pieces, even some small ones too, if they feel it's going to, break or crumble, they like to reinforce it with the cement. This one doesn't have it, but you're getting all the energy from all the tips. Okay. A lot of positive, pure, peaceful energy from that. So it's still very effective.
Okay. So it doesn't influence the energy at all, or detract from it, rather.
Right.
Okay. Another question I have is about the color.
Yes.
I know that the darker the crystal, the more expensive it is.
It can be, yes.
Okay.
It's just different. It's mined in different areas of the world. The darker ones like that, I believe that one is probably from Uruguay. The lighter ones are from somewhere in Mexico. It escapes me right now exactly where. Okay. But the amethyst that's much lighter are from typically Mexico. I'm sure there's more places in the world, but it's mined. That's the mine. That's the main color that's coming out of those mines. But okay. Yes, they can be much more expensive. That's true.
Okay, yeah. So are they more
powerful? Around for that too. I'm sorry?
Are they more powerful because they're darker? Is there any correlation between that?
I don't feel there is. I feel it's all the same energy.
Okay.
But again, the bigger the crystal, the more energy it's going to emit. Okay. Now, since you have one that has a lot of little points, that's going to have a lot of energy coming from it. These will probably be about the same, even though they're shaped differently. This one has a lot of energy coming from each point. This one has around it's coming from around it, but most of it's coming out the apex here.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's the bigger the crystal, the more energy, definitely. I feel if it's darker or lighter, it's more of a preference, a personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
I have not personally felt any energetically difference as far as one being higher or not. If it's amethyst against amethyst, it's always been about the same.
Okay. So then you can go for the cheaper, lighter colored amethyst.
If you prefer that, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have some of both, so I guess it just depends on, what you prefer.
Yeah. Okay. So I forget what it's called, but there's crystals, cluster something. They're real tiny. Like you'll see one of these come out. What do you refer to these as? A point? Or
These are considered like this here. This is like, that would be broken off a
okay.
piece. This is actually a cluster. What you have there is considered a geode. And this would be considered a point.
Okay.
They all have, this is considered a point because it's got a main point. These are tumbled. The smooth, round, roundish ones are tumbled. This is natural.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but this is a cluster, this here.
Okay.
Some might also refer to this as a geode because it probably was part of a geode at one time.
Sure.
So it can kind of go either way. And it does have points too, so you might hear that too.
Okay. What I'm thinking of, I don't know what the proper term is, but I've seen a amethyst geode similar to this. The crystals are very dark, but there's millions of them, and they're real tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like 1 point, and it's all millions of points on there. One big point with millions of points on there, and there's a specific name for that, but I can't think of the proper term.
Is it in a geode to begin with that you're thinking of?
I saw it in a store, and it was similar to this.
Similar to that?
Cut like this, yes.
Yeah. Typically, typically they're considered geodes also.
Okay.
But it can still have a cluster inside. It can have a point inside. And sometimes when there's like a little tiny dusting of specks of crystal, some people refer to that as fairy dust.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that before. I don't have one here that shows that either. But it's real tiny little specks that
Okay.
just goes sparkly. And that can be a fairy dusting. It's just brilliant sparkles.
Okay. So which would be more powerful, the larger points like in this, or if we had the same size stone, but there were maybe 10 times the amount of points? So these points were a lot smaller, but there's more of them. Which would you consider more powerful? Something like this, or the one that had 10 times the amount of points?
I would say the ones, if the other, that compared to one that has bigger points would be more powerful. The bigger the points, the more energy is coming from the apex.
Okay.
But you're still going to have a lot from what you have there because it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one that you would really want to work with to see how much energy comes from it. There's a lot that comes from this right here.
Oh, wow.
Energy all the way around it.
Mm-hmm.
So these two compared, they both have a lot of energy. This is bigger, a bigger point. So it's got a lot more energy coming from the tip than these do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of these. So there is a lot of energy still coming from this.
Mm-hmm.
I know that can be a little confusing. So depending on what you want out of it,
Mm-hmm.
you want something in your space to put in a space like on a table to bring in peaceful energy or positive energy, you're really going to want something that is really rather big.
Okay.
With a big point, or if you like what you have there, the bigger the geode, the better. This is so much smaller than what you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as much energy because yours is so much bigger.
Okay. Okay.
Did I totally confuse you?
No. I was confused a long time ago. Day of birth. Let's see. Could you use the crystals to do a type of crystal surgery, like with a wand? Could
Yes,
you focus
can.
on a part of your body?
Yes, you can. Let me grab one here. That I can reach, actually. This is the crystal wand. And this, if you know exactly what, like if a client was suffering from a very specific issue, I could use this as like a surgical tool, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of scoop out the energy from them. I
Okay.
wouldn't be touching the person,
Yep.
but I would be in their aura to
Yep.
scoop out the energy. And then afterwards, we would smooth it over with the selenite to seal it up.
Ah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that is very possible to do that with wands. You don't even need one quite this big.
Mm-hmm.
You can use a smaller, clear point.
Okay.
But yeah, you can use those as surgery tools, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
to help certain areas.
Okay. So I want to ask you about Himalayan salt lamps.
Okay.
Are those considered crystals?
I personally do not consider them crystals. What I have researched and learned, they are actually salt. They mine them from salt mines. They even sell salt, Himalayan salt that you can consume.
Yep.
So I see this as a salt product. A salt crystals are crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I see them as a difference.
Okay.
I do see, however, that they both contribute in similar ways,
Mm-hmm.
where the salt lamp will also diffuse negative energy or allergens, or it just brings a good, peaceful, positive feel to a space, the same that a crystal would do.
Mm-hmm.
But I see them as two separately different.
Entities,
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm.
but both very beneficial.
Very beneficial, yes.
Okay.
I've used both in my home. I have 2 salt lamps in my home and crystals everywhere. So they do work well together too.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the crystal baths?
Crystal baths. Matter of fact, I have a bath recipe I want to share with you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is the same thing of what you're thinking, but I do want to share this with everybody out here, that a crystal bath, when you can put in some tumbled stones to enhance your bath experience for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to really relax and be peaceful and calm, then start a bath and put in some Epsom salts,
Mm-hmm.
and some drops of lavender essential oil and 2 amethyst tumbled stones, or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And these would be safe to put in the water. And this will amplify, because the water is an energy, the crystal's an energy. So there's 2 really big energy sources. This will amplify the experience of a very deeply relaxing experience.
Mm.
So try that with the amethyst tumbled stones.
Okay.
Now there's another one too. If you want a boost of energy, I know it sounds odd to take a bath to boost your energy, but you can put in some salts also, again,
Mm-hmm.
some Epsom salts, but also you can add some black lava Hawaiian salt.
Ooh.
If you have it, if you can get it, it amps up the energy too. And you would put your carnelian tumbled stones in, 2 or 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and some orange essential oil, and soak in that for a little bit, and then you'll be just so energized. You'll be like, so
Better than coffee, huh?
yes, absolutely. Yeah,
That sounds wonderful.
it's very easy, very simple. So
Yes.
mhm.
The hard part is finding the time.
That's right, and that's true with the meditation, but do it, try it. I really highly recommend the meditation. Yes.
Do you have anything else that you would like to share with our viewers?
I think that we've touched pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You can try a healing experience, with somebody, and then just try it on your own. If you don't want to do it with somebody, start with yourself and just meditate, and just go to a crystal shop and grab one that you gravitate towards if you're not sure.
Yeah.
And just try it and see how, just try the meditation practice and just see how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And like you did with sleeping with your rose quartz, just how you felt when you woke up in the morning. It's kind of the same thing. Just try it and, expand from there. The more you try it, the more you'll probably want to continue, with your healing journey. It's really, truly an amazing experience. And it's transformed my life completely. And I just, I really believe in crystal energy, and They're amazing tools, and they're really, really not that expensive compared to all those bottles of pills that I was taking. So
No, and no side effects. Well, actually, there's side effects, but they're all beneficial.
They're all positive side effects.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to mention to you, I was at a rock and mineral show about 2 years ago in Albany, and there was this big rock, and it was blue, and it had a little bit of white, and it was calling my name. Like, it really got my attention, and I ran over there, and I'm like, what's going on? Because there was like an immediate attraction, and I'm like, this is my rock. I had no idea what it was. And I asked, how much is it? And it was $140. And I'm like, oh, I can't afford this. So I walked around, and then I came back, and I said, could you give me a discount? And she said, yeah, I'll give you something off. And I'm like, all right, let me walk around. I'm like, if it's meant to be, it'll still be there when I come back. So
right.
And I came back at the end of the day. It was still there. I'm like, all right, I have to have it. It was Soda Light.
Oh, yeah, Sodalite. That's good. You tend to be attracted to the blues.
I need to wake this up.
I have done that several times with crystals at gem shows. I've done the same thing. I've hesitated with the prices because when you get really big ones, they can get very costly.
Yes.
And I have gotten to the point where I thought, I'm just going to buy it because I'm going to regret it if I don't. Because you won't see that exact same crystal again, ever, if you don't get it then. And if it's really calling to you.
Totally.
Yeah. I have done that many times.
Yeah. My father was with me. He's like, you're crazy. How can you spend that amount of money on a rock? He's like, go in the backyard of my house and pick something up for free. Like, what is it about this rock? And I'm like, really? I don't know, but it was calling my name.
See, again, what attracts you is usually what you need most.
Yeah.
So, and that would be a good one too for your throat chakra too. So that could also cross over to your third eye. It kind of because it's kind of a dark blue.
Okay.
It can cross over either one. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, this one had some dark blue, but it was probably more of a medium blue. And a little bit of white. There wasn't that many veins. Do you refer to those as veins?
Yeah.
Oh, and then another one that I got, I should have brought it down because I have it upstairs in my bedroom. It's a Soda Light. I bought it the same weekend, but it's in the shape of a heart. I mean, it was cut, but not in the shape of a heart, but the way it was, roughly cut, it's like in a heart. But if I put it in my hand, it fits perfectly. Like my hand just fits perfectly around it. So that's another one that I was sleeping with.
Oh, that's nice. I bet does it give you a very, very nice energy feel too?
It's very homey. It feels like home, very comforting, very supportive.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the more that you work with crystals, the more that you will know how they work with you, with them. So now you know how to treat certain things with those crystals you have. So it's the more you get to know them, the more you can, it's like, when something comes up, oh, I have a headache. Well, I'll put an amethyst on my head today. Or I'm just kind of feeling out of sorts. Well, I'll use a selenite wand. You get to know their energies and what can help the various things that you experience through the day.
Yeah, it's an addiction, though. Once you buy that first crystal, oh my gosh, watch out. It's the worst addiction ever.
It is an addiction. It really is.
A good one, though, right?
It is a good one, yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for joining us. This has been awesome, and I'm sure our viewers are going to absolutely love this interview because you gave us so much information about crystals, which ones to choose, that the man-made ones, they're just as effective as the natural ones. I'm sure that there will be a lot of viewers out there that didn't think that way because I didn't.
Right. Yes.
So that's huge. Yeah. And that the Himalayan salt lamps, they're good. Well, we knew that they were good, but but you're saying they're good, so that means they're really good.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I could talk crystals all the time.
Mm.
Visit me on my Facebook page. You'll see all sorts of helpful videos that I've created over the years and for various things, and I continue to do that. So I love talking about them.
Yes,
So.
that's quite evident. And I appreciate you loving to talk about them. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.
And crystal blessings, everyone.
Goodbye,
All right.
everybody.